everybody, welcome back to the channel. Sorry, I've been gone for a couple weeks. Just taking care of some personal stuff with the families, and but I'm getting back on track now, so we're gonna try to turn out a video tonight. I did have a video planned, which I'll show you a little clip of that. And that is what happens when you have your settings set wrong. But and going out to do a moto vlog, and ends up being pretty much fast motion the entire way. And here comes Keto. Hi, Keto. What you doing? Yeah? That's my daughter's cat. But my old white truck, this truck is now for sale because we have this truck now. New Ford F-150 EcoBoost. We'll be using that to hopefully go do a lot of camping and pulling the boat once we get a boat. Had one in the works, but fell through. But anyway, let's get to this video. Basically, just so somebody asked me a question on a private message. The bows that are hanging behind me when I'm doing the videos inside the house. So it's my main hunting bow, my daughter's bow, and I think my son's bow's hanging down there, a crossbow. So let's go down the stairs and show you what bows we all shoot. Okay, so some people have been asking what bows are sitting behind me back here on the rack. Let me show you. I'll start with my hunting bow. This is my main hunting bow, Matthews Halon 6. This bow, I have the NAP rest on here, which I have a review of, but they no longer make this rest, but I think it's a really good rest and they should actually bring that back. I shoot the Trophy Hunter React sight, 5-pin. I really like that sight. I can shoot up to 60 yards. Very little pin gap on here, but rarely do I shoot 60 yards maybe at targets. When I used to shoot IBO, I could take them out that way all the time, but it just, for hunting, generally 20 yards or less. The arrows that I'm shooting are the Bloodsport Pro Hunter, 350 grains, and or the 350 spine, I should say. I do have a wrap on them. I got nocturnal nocks on there, and a Muzzy Trocar head. I prefer to use fixed blade heads because I'm still kind of old school in that aspect, where I believe anything mechanical is bound to break. So that's why I carry 2 releases with me when I'm hunting. Muzzy quiver. I really like the style quiver. It's lightweight. It sits on the bow really nice. It is quick release. Just snap it off. So, but I don't hang my stuff in the tree at all. So I shoot with my quiver on and snap right back in place. I do have 2 mounts on here for Tacticam. I got one right here for the stabilizer, and I got one up here on the riser. That was actually a really easy mount. I just took a Matthews spacer for the quiver, mounted that right in there, and then mounted the Tacticam mount on that. This bow, with these arrows are about 390 grains. Running it pretty much dead on at 300 feet per second. It just shoots nice and flat, even, smooth shooting. I just really like this bow. So the second bow, let me set this down. we'll go through my bows first. This is my backup bow. I don't have the quiver on it right now, it's laying down behind me. But real simple. Just I think it's a Axion sight that's on here. 4-pin. This bow is a Diamond Outlaw, by the way. There you go, Diamond. This Diamond Outlaw, I use this for a backup bow. It's really lightweight. If I want to put my cameras on, I can because I got mounting holes on it. I just have a standard stabilizer right now just for practice shooting. And then I got the Q80 rest on here. And this bow is running 291. And my Matthews is at 68 pounds. This bow is at 65 pounds. And if I just put 1 or 2 more turns in these limbs, then the bow will be right at 300 feet per second like the Matthews is. But I really like this bow. It actually got this at a pawn shop, fairly cheap, and it's actually the most consistent in speed, which I'll show you on the chronograph set. I'm not going to shoot through the chronograph, but I already have, and I'll bring that up for you and show you. But this one's running 291, I think, with a deviation of like 0.1. So, whereas the Matthews is 0.16, somewhere in that ballpark. So, this bow is a real consistent shooter, really nice balance. It's a no longer made bow, but I have a tendency to keep my equipment for a while, so have not sold this as of yet. And then the third bow, I use this for turkey hunting sometimes, depending on where I'm going. If I'm hunting public, I'll use the crossbow, but if I'm hunting on my home property, then I'll use my compound bow, my Matthews. But this is a Cam-X bow. This thing shoots extremely well. It's the 330 model. They guarantee these bows, and God, I should post the video from that, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to. This bow is signed by Chris Brackett because I ended up winning this bow off Facebook. I was watching them destroy it. They towed it behind a Dodge Charger through a parking lot at an archery shop. They just tied it to the back and just dragged it around the parking lot. Then they picked it up and threw it against a concrete pillar. They bent the scope. They bent the stirrup. They just beat the heck out of this bow. And then they were hitting bullseyes with it at 20 yards. Bow's guaranteed sighted in. Comes with a target in the box. This thing, it runs, I think, 330 plus, 336 maybe. And it's sighted in from basically 5 yards out to 70 yards from the factory. And they guarantee the speed and they guarantee the accuracy right out of the box. So, $1,200 bow for a win, you can't go wrong there. So, Cam-X. I've never owned a crossbow, but I've worked in pro shops for nearly 20 years. So, I've shot a lot of crossbows. And if you want, I'll see if I can post the video, but if you look in my videos in the past, my wife Patty shooting this bow. We sat in the house holding the bow, making sure she knew what the eye relief was and everything else. And then when we went out to film, when we unboxed this bow, I was looking through the viewfinder of the camera, so it was pretty small. I didn't notice that she had the bow right up against her eye when she pulled the trigger. She's never shot a crossbow or a scope in her entire life. The video is kind of comical, a little bit of blood. She did cut her eyebrow, but she nailed the bullseye dead on her first time ever shooting a crossbow, so you may want to watch that. Don't worry, we knew what happened. I did not see her creeping up on the scope, but she laughed about it, and she still complains to this day about missing a little piece of her eyebrow, which she's not. She just thinks it is. But go back and watch that video. She was not hurt bad, so it was really comical and actually funny. But I really like shooting this bow a lot, and You know, so in this one, the bolts come with broadheads, but I can't remember the brand right now. I should have researched everything, but they're their own arrows or bolts as they call them, and I do have lighted nocks on the ends, and this thing is dead on, and I do have some turkey broadheads that I have for it too. So that's my 3 main bows. The other bows I have sitting here, let me get this back up here again. This is my daughter's bow. She likes shooting my True Fire finger type release. She's almost more of a target shooter. She has not gone out hunting yet with her bow, but she shoots the Monster Chill SDX. She has the pink highlights in it, the pink strings and everything to go with being a girl. She shoots a QAD rest. She has a step up from my sight. This is the Trophy Ridge React sight, and that one, it's the Pro Series. It does have all 3 accesses. Real easy to sight in, real easy to tune, and from working in pro shops and repping for many companies in the archery company and calls and stuff, I do all my own setups, all my own tuning and stuff. So we got this set up just for her. I've yet to chronograph this, but when I do, I'll make sure I post a video. But it's just a beautiful little bow. Now she's shooting the 250 Bloodsport Pros. The Bloodsports, I've shot all kinds of arrows and all brands. Went down to it was Easton Manufacturing, Easton Archery Manufacturing, and actually toured their plant, went through their little course on arrows and arrow building. But this little setup is really nice for her. She shoots it very, very well. She's in the Army now. Actually just getting out of the Army, but we are expecting a grandbaby now. So got that to look forward to. So, but her and her husband are going to move from New York to Arizona. But hopefully we'll get her back here to do some hunting in the fall. But baby's due in September, so maybe not this fall, but maybe next fall she'll actually get back and do some hunting with us. Because I really want to see her take a deer with her bow. She shot deer with a gun, but she's not shot one with a bow yet. So that's her bow. And then my son's bow. More old school. When I used to rep, it's a little dusty. When I used to rep and work in the outdoors companies, Parker, this Parker bow. It's the Outback 4x4, dual cams, camouflage cams, camouflage cable guard. And this thing, it was all set up pretty good. We have a bigger peep sight on there because my son wears glasses, so it's easier for him to see. It's an Axis sight, basically the same sight I have on my Outlaw back there, the Diamond. This rest, I don't even know if they make it anymore. When I used to rep, I was at a deer show and working a booth, and one of the other reps had this. It's a MPSI. It's just a nice, super nice, consistent rest, and it's amazing how things from the past still work extremely well, and sometimes even better than some of the new stuff. But this bow also. This bow's probably 15 years old, maybe 20 years old, because I think I got my son's 32, so we got this for him when he was about 15 years old, and he shoots it really well too. He prefers the crossbow, but he does shoot this Parker very, very well. It's just one of the bows I just want to hang on to because now Parker's out of business. This is almost a collector's item, and this thing shoots just as good, if not better, than my Matthews Halon, and technology from 15 years ago. And this thing is just rock solid and dead on shooter. So, kind of shows you, excuse me, the reason why I haven't upgraded from Matthews Halon is because I do a lot of research, and actually Matthews is still one of our customers for the company I work for. So I'm there every week, but I love their bows, but I've not seen, since the Halon, I've not seen any there's all kinds of upgrades, but weight wise and speed wise, there's really been no change. And so I have a bow that I'm comfortable with, and that's the way you should be too. If you have a bow that you're comfortable with, no reason to spend $1,200 on a new flagship bow. You can, like my Diamond back here, the Diamond, I got that at a pawn shop for like $300, and it's more consistent than my Matthews. And it's an older bow, but it still shoots really well. The only bow that really does trip my trigger right now is the Bowtech Solution SS. I really like that bow, so I might get it, but I don't see a huge reason why I should change bows right now. But either way, I'll probably keep my old bow anyway. So, but yeah, so look at some of these pawn shops and look for some bows, and make sure you examine them really good. Run your hands along the limbs. Make sure there's no splinters or cracks on the limbs. Just look it over really good. If it feels good in your hand, so I used to tell a lot of my customers, if it feels good in your hand, you're probably going to shoot it well, because there's a lot of bows that are uncomfortable. I mean, for me, Hoyt is a great bow, but it just does not fit my hand correctly. So I'm not a big fan of shooting the Hoyts. I can shoot them well, but it's just for hunting and stuff, and for target, I'm not comfortable shooting them. So you want to find a bow that fits you. They all shoot the same direction. If it's comfortable in your hand, has a speed that you're looking for. You don't need a real speed bow. If you get 280 feet per second and above, you're fine. You'll be able to kill pretty much any animal out there. But so this bow is 15 or 20 years old. The Outback, that's probably, give or take, 10 years old. And my Matthews, they've come out with 4 bows since the Matthews. And they discontinued the Matthews, which is odd, because to me it was one of the best bows in their lineup. So, but they want people to buy all the flagship bows, so that's what they push like crazy. And they do shoot well. I'll give them that. They shoot great, but there's no reason, to me, to spend $1,200 on a new bow when the one I have is working perfectly fine. So, but anyway, that's kind of going over all of our bows, what we have going on here. Like I said, I got a direct message from somebody asking, what are the bows on the back wall behind me. And so, a pair of Matthews, my Diamond, Cam X crossbow, and my son's Parker. They all shoot really well. They're all comfortable in my hand, so that's why I have them. There's some bows that I don't, my personal opinion is the yokes that are on the outside of the limbs. I don't like that because I've seen them fray and break from people out in the woods hunting. And when I was working in pro shops, I did restring them, a lot of them. But so I like something solid that's going to take a beating, because I'm not nice to my equipment. But anyway, let's go over the chronograph settings. I'll throw that up on the screen so you can see what the Cam X and the Diamond are shooting and what the deviations are. Okay, so my Matthews Halon at 68 pounds, 28 inches. With the string loop, I shoot around 28 and a half. You can see it's 300 feet per second, deviation of 1.63. So from one arrow to another, it's 1.63 feet per second is what the deviation is from each arrow. My Cam X, X30, that is running 336.5 feet per second, and a deviation of 1 foot per second, so that's really consistent. And then the Diamond Outlaw, it's 65 pounds at 28 inches, 291.17 with a deviation of 0.41. And I'm using the same arrows in the Outlaw that I am in the Matthews. Okay, so there's my bows, and that diamond through the chronograph is proof that sometimes the cheaper bows are more consistent than the high-end bows. And so you really want to look at that. Look at your budget, what you can afford. If you want to go out and spend $1,200 on a new bow, go for it. Then you're looking at $1,200 on the bow, probably 100 to 150 or more on the site. And nowadays the rests are anywhere from $60 to $150. And there are some higher price stuff too, you know, and your stabilizer, then your arrows. Once all said and done, and you're looking at $1,500 or more in your setup. And I have no problem with that. If you can afford it, just do it. But if you're on a budget, like I am most of the time, then just find a bow that's comfortable for you. Check at Cabela's. They have some really good bows, some Bears and some other brands that are real consistent, really good shooters. And Dick's. The Dick's around here doesn't carry archery no more, which kind of bothers me a little bit, but I know there's some other ones that still do. And then you know, other outdoor shops in your area, and go to shops that have pro staff or, you know, a pro shop in there where they can work on your bow. In this area, Shields, they can set up bows and everything too. Cabela's can too. Most of the time the guys in there are pretty decent, fairly knowledgeable, and some are really knowledgeable, so you just never take for granted what they know and what they can help you with. If you're not comfortable setting up your own bows, by all means have a pro shop do it. And even if you buy a bow where there is no pro shop, most pro shop guys are going to be happy if you bring your bow into them and have them set it up for you. But just take their advice and listen to what they have to say. Some pro shops have used bows, and they're not going to sell them used if they don't trust them and don't think it's a good thing. So anyway, sorry I took so long posting another video. It's been a couple weeks. We just had some personal family things happening. So with that, we're going to get back on the video bandwagon, get these videos pushed out every other week, if not every week. So I know I got turkey season coming up, and fishing obviously is coming up. So there's all kinds of outdoor things that will be happening that hopefully will get on video and put out some decent videos for you to see. Fishing wise, mostly fish bass, but we're on a learning curve because I'm fishing on the Mississippi River now, so which I've primarily been a lake fisherman, so learning all the little tips and tricks to hopefully catch panfish and walleye, smallmouth bass, northern pike, you know, everything that associates to river fishing. Learning the wing dams and to stay out of the way of barges. They're big and they don't stop. So, but anyway, okay. Hope you enjoyed that video. Just a little bit of what I shoot bow wise and archery wise. I'm not claiming to be a professional, but I've been around a long time between pro shops and repping. So, but hit that subscribe button, click that thumbs up if you like the video, and hit that bell notification so you know when we drop the next video. And we hope to see you soon.